international exchange organization. Her speech title is, "What Can You Learn from Strangers in Your House?"
Thank you, everyone. What can you learn from a stranger in your house? Well, I have to say I'm actually, as John said, in the business of bringing strangers into people's homes. Voluntarily, that is, and I've had the honor and privilege of bringing in many strangers into my home, and I'd love to share a couple of those stories with you, and actually share an opportunity that I have right now just for you because you live in Chicago. So the organization that I work with is national. Here we place exchange students with volunteer host families all across the country. And my husband and I, actually my husband's very open-minded, we've hosted many people throughout the years, and it was probably 2 years ago, he agreed that we could host a student from Venezuela. Now the student's name was Alonzo. Poor kid, seriously, I don't know what his parents were thinking. Alonzo, very memorable though. Cute kid, shows up, pick him up at the airport, and he's a stranger to us. We've never met him before. He's learning our language, luckily pretty proficient with it, and we don't know a thing about each other, and he's about to spend 10 months living under our roof as a member of our family. This is why I have an incredible husband, very open-minded. Alonzo became a member of our family, but it was through small experiences. And one of the best things that I love about bringing strangers into people's homes is that life, ordinary life, our day-to-day, going to the grocery store, having to go shopping for a pair of socks, picking up kids after school, all of those things that seem normal become exciting. The first snowfall, I remember the first time snow fell in Chicago. Now Alonzo is from Venezuela. He had never seen snow. I remember it was a Saturday afternoon, we were playing inside, I think the guys were playing video games, feeding the dogs, and Alonzo looks outside and he's like, "It's snowing." Of course, for us, we're like, "Oh great, winter's here comes all the snow." But for him, that was incredible, first snowfall. So he rushes outside, puts his hand out and starts to look at the snowflakes. First time holding a snowflake in his hands and seeing that the crystals were so unique and individual. That's such a normal everyday experience. But in that moment, for me and Marty, our life kind of lit up. That this was going to be a moment that Alonzo would remember forever. Now, I have the benefit of working with other families that open up their homes and to hear their stories of their students' first times doing things and taking everyday activities that they do and it becoming incredible. Going to pick up their kids after school and getting hugs from the preschool-aged brothers and sisters and seeing how much the students enjoy that. They're little everyday things that become incredible. Now, I have a really great opportunity here for everyone here in Chicago. Normally, my organization works and does long-term exchanges, 5 months to 10 months, so that the students can stay for either a semester or full academic year in high school. We've paired up with the Old Town School of Folk Music. Has anyone heard of the Old Town School of Folk Music? Yeah. They have 2 locations. They have one in Lincoln Park, and I know that they've got another one in Lincoln Square. And it's the one in Lincoln Square actually has a program with Russia. And I know right now, as my husband pointed out before we came here in the car, I was wondering, why are we having such a hard time placing these Russian students? And really not taking into consideration the economic climate that we have going on here with the US and Russia, and knowing that that's a maybe tenuous, stressed out relationship that we might have on a big level. But what I think is incredible right now is to have an opportunity to bring in students, they're ages 12 to 14 years old. They are not making the political decisions of their country. They want to come here to study music and live with an American host family for just 3 short weeks. And I believe those 3 short weeks could give an impression on the US that nothing could change, and that they would grow up to perhaps be future leaders and have a different opinion, and we could have a different working relationship with Russia. It's possible. I know it's a stretch, but imagine that you were part of that transition. Imagine that you had Maxime, who's now 14 and loves sports, that you had him sitting on your couch for a moment, that first day, thinking, I don't know this stranger, this is the first time he's in our home, I don't speak Russian, I don't even know anything about his culture, and that you take him shopping to Costco. Has anyone been in Costco? Yes, you can imagine if you haven't been in a big grocery store or a big store, what that would mean. It's a small experience, but what would that mean to Maxim? What would that mean to learn about your life here? If you've got kids, perhaps they're in school, they like to do sports. Maxime could be a part of that experience as well. Maybe, just maybe, 20 or 30 years from now, Maxime would look back on this moment and think about that family, that American family that opened up their home for 3 short weeks from, I have to say this, from July 21st to August 9th, this summer, for 3 short weeks, and that changed his impression of the U.S., and that he wanted to go on and build better relationships. And he can think back and say, you know what? I'm really glad that that family, that Peggy and her family took me in, no pressure, Peggy, that Peggy and her family took me in, and I got to live with them, and I had such an incredible experience, and it changed my life. And now I'm able to do this. And they go back and visit, and Maxime has become a part of Peggy's family for years and years and years to come. So maybe that stranger that's in your house isn't such a stranger after all. Maybe they're a future family member, maybe they're a future leader, maybe they could just change your life in the process.